Good morning, viewers around the world. You're welcome yet to another edition of News Roundup, Schengen Story Media. My name is Mark Godwin Iweajuwan, speaking from Milan, Italy. And as usual, we have our coordinators all from all European corners. With us this morning again are my beautiful brothers, my great friends, colleagues, coordinators. As Mads Godson, ASUU, how were you this morning?
Yeah, good morning, my very good friend, Honorable Mark Iweajuwan, all the way there in Milan. Milan, the city of good things, beautiful suits, nice ties. I can see you modeling the suits and the tie. That's lovely. Good of you. It's been wonderful here in up east of England, in the UK, where the weather is like the UK weather. You know, you can't predict it. It comes off and on. It's been a bit cold, and suddenly it's now warm, hot, and I mean, you don't really know which weather you wake up with every day here in the UK. But it's been good and lovely, and hopefully we're still waiting and anticipating for a very harsh winter. Hopefully that is not the case, but well, as we say, you can predict United Kingdom just as you can predict the woman.
That's a new one. That's a new one, Godson. Yes, and from France is our good friend Chuma Bomuche. You are welcome. I was looking at the France fashion show. Started during the week. Chuma, what's happening there?
Well, France is very lovely as usual. Just that over the weekend, Saturday night, actually, or Saturday, we had a real great storm here, this area. None, it hasn't really happened. All of the whole France, it was here. It was so bad, but we thank God no life was lost. At least people were able to muster up the courage to still put on the fashion and walk around on Sundays. New people are springing up, and a lot of good fashion designers are coming up, and we hope that very soon their names will be ringing bells everywhere with good things coming from France. Yes. Happy being with you once more. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You guys are awesome, and you're all shining. It looks like some voice, some grace has been added to your colors. It's beautiful. Thank you. So we're going to sit back and get the news headline from Abuja. Our Abuja coordinator is there, correspondent Hawa Yusuf Musa, and we'll be back to deliberate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Coming to you live from the FCT Nigeria. Welcome to another Schengen World Newspaper Headlines. Today is 4th October 2001. My name is Hawa Yusuf. Now the headlines. In France, two sisters aged 7 and 5 spent several days in an apartment with the body of their mother, who had died suddenly in northwestern France, the regional prosecutor said on Saturday. "Be quiet, mommy is sleeping," the girls told police officers who came to the apartment on Wednesday in the city of Le Mans after being alerted by the school girls and prolonged absence, the prosecutor's office said. Georgia's former president, Mikhail Saakashvili, has been arrested on his return from exile. The pro-Western Mr. Saakashvili led the Caucasus country from 2004 to 2013, but was later convicted in absentia on corruption charges, which he denies. Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte says he is retiring from politics and will not stand in the election next year. The 76-year-old leader said this last month that he will run for the vice presidency in 2022. The country's constitution only permits presidents to serve a single 6-year term. Taiwan says dozens of Chinese military jets have flown into the air defense zone in the last 2 days, the largest incursion by Beijing to date. Taiwan's defense military said 38 planes, including nuclear-capable bombers, entered the area in 2 waves on Saturday. Australia will reopen its international border from November, giving long-awaited freedom to vaccinated citizens and their relatives. Since March 2020, Australia has had some of the world's strictest border rules, even banning its own people from leaving the country. Colmamandi Mboya has been sworn in as Guinea's interim president after leading the coup which saw the overthrow of Alpha Condé. The former French legionnaire of 41 becomes Africa's second youngest leader after Mali's Assimi Goïta, 38, who also staged a military takeover. Cole Mboya is barred from contesting future elections on the plan to restore civilian rule announced this week. The 5 September coup has been widely condemned. In Nigeria, the police command in Zamfara has arrested a notorious bandits commander, Juan Bello Ruger, and naturalized 5 others during a raid in Gombe local government area of the state. Ms. Ayuba El-Kaner, the commissioner of police, made the disclosure while parading in Kempin alongside 21 other suspected bandits and their collaborators on Saturday in Gusau. 1 person was on Saturday confirmed dead while 5 others sustained varying degrees of injuries in an auto crash in Abuja. The accident was said to have happened not far from AA Rano filling station alongside Kubo Abuja Expressway around 11 p.m. on Friday. The crash was, it said, guarded involved 19 vehicles and a heavy-duty truck. The General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, has explained that he will receive COVID-19 vaccine for the sake of the gospel. He said it days on Friday night during the monthly Holy Ghost service program of the church at the Redemption Camp alongside Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. All Progressive Congress Chieftain Bola Tinubu says he is healthy but only undergoing physiotherapy in London. Tinubu said this while addressing members of the House of Representatives Northern Caucus that visited him in London on Friday. The former governor, who has been in the United Kingdom for the last 3 months since undergoing knee surgery, however, said he is undergoing physiotherapy, which he described as gruesome. Thank you very much for staying tuned. Now I move you back to the studios in Europe. Stay with us.
Thank you very much, Hanwa Yusuf from Abuja. That's the headlines for the week. So, gentlemen, we are back to the Europe studio, and there's a lot to talk about. The week has been very dramatic, so many things popping up from every corner. Mazi Azu, what are you following in Nigeria? Let's start with Nigeria. What's the political and security situation like? Can you bring us up to date on situations there, Mazi Azu?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Mark Iwejo, our host on this very lovely program. Well, it's the 4th day of October, and we just have about 2 more months to go, and the year 2021 will come to an end, hopefully in good peace. The security situation in Nigeria remains very volatile, remains highly critical. Nothing has so much been done, irrespective of all the efforts of the federal government and the state governments, we still continue to hear attacks all over the place. In Zamfara, in Katsina, in Kaduna, in Niger. It's all happening every day, and we just keep wondering, are these obvious attempts to keep the country insecure for a very long period of time? There was the incident in Kagara just over the weekend with number of fatalities. Kagara has become an epic center now in Niger State with the rampaging of the terrorist groups that are taking refuge in some ungoverned spaces and areas in Niger State, and they try to invade Kagara, where they tried to take over the emir's palace or to kidnap the emir, and the emir was not around. But then they have continued to rain havoc across the town for the last couple of days. Obviously, in the last year or so, we have been hearing lots of insecurity incidences in the northwest and northeast, and relatively in the north central, such as Benue and Plateau State. And then suddenly we started hearing some incidents also happening now in Kogi State, where there have been all kinds of kidnapping and ranging insecurity challenges in the state also. Once a while, there was the anticipation that Kogi is one of the safest states in Nigeria, but I tend to disagree with all that argument, because a lot of issues of security challenges occurs between Abaji and Lokoja when you're traveling from Abuja through Lokoja to other parts of the southwest or the south from that axis. And so, but then we now kind of find ourselves in a very serious challenge in the southeast with the recent rise of rampage of killings, on wanton killings of people without any recourse. I mean, we do respect, we do pay condolences and pray for the families of Dr. Chike Akuyele, the husband to Professor Akuyele, the Dora Akuyele, the former Minister of Information of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who was accidentally shot dead in the middle of the road somewhere in Nnewi and Ukpo, I think it's Ukpo or somewhere like that, in Nnewi, Anambra State. Very well, we know that Anambra is preparing itself for its next gubernatorial election next month, actually, and the level of killings which the Governor Obiano tend to term as political killings has been occurring even from Imo State, when we begin to experience this new dynamic of terror group called the unknown gunmen. In Nigeria, we have, before now, we have 5 key insecurity challenges faced the country, and most of which were in the northern part of the country and the south. We used to have the jihadists who intend to fight for the right of Islamization of certain places in Nigeria, which metaphors into Boko Haram. And then we move from Boko Haram to herdsmen, farmers clashes, which resonated in the south and the north central, in between Benue and Plateau axis and Nasarawa axis. And then we moved on from herdsmen, farmers clashes to what we tend to see now as bandits and kidnapping. Banditry and kidnapping became a norm from Zamfara when the issue of gold mining smugglers became a challenge for the federal government and the state. The banditries arose and started with cattle rustling and then chasing people all over the place. And then they became a menace which cannot be controlled from Zamfara to Katsina to Kaduna. And then we also had the issue of the herders farmers issue clashes in Kaduna, which also was as a result of communal clashes between the Fulanis and the Hausas. Then now we have before all this, we used to have the Niger Delta militancy, who controlled and tried to challenge the piracies of the seas, the oceans between Nigeria and the Atlantic and the creeks in the Niger Delta area, the oil-producing region of the country. And then now we are now being faced with another new name called the unknown gunmen. The unknown gunmen is what we cannot define as much because any act of killing, maiming, and destroying properties is an act of terrorism. So I believe that all these names, bandits, unknown gunmen, should be classified as terrorists because they are basically terrorizing the society, killing people unnecessarily, destroying properties without any recourse on it. So these people should be classified as a terrorist because there is a terrorist act we have in the country and within our constitution now. And so when people terrorize human beings, displace people from their ancestral homes and put them in inhuman conditions and kill people, destroy their properties, these are acts of terrorism. So these people should be classified as terrorists. And so today we have a very big challenge I've faced in Nigeria. The political scene is also not helping the matter. We hear the cases of the 5 key political elements fighting for the governor of Anambra State in November, challenging each other. Some people decamped from PDP, ABGA to APC, and the next day after decamping, one of them was challenged in Nnewi. His driver was shot dead in person of Chris Azubog, Honorable Chris Azubog, a member of the House of Rep, and some group of other members of his team. And so there is this elements of political gaming, and there is need to really focus on finding out what is happening in the Southeast. Is it as a result of the failure of IPOB? Obviously, we know that IPOB is now divided into 3. There are one led by one barrister, Emeka something or whatever. There is the other group of IPOB led by Nnamdi Kanu. There's another IPOB led by Asare Dokubo in Rivers State. So who are the elements causing this problem? Is it the ESN? The ESN has come to say that they are not involved. They are not part of it. They don't know what is going on. Is it a politician that is arming people to cause havoc in the Southeast in the name of IPOB, in the name of ESN? Or is it that Igbo have lost it completely? Why we should be killing ourselves? This has not been part of us. This has not been part of our Igbo's culture. So there's need to really discover who is causing this manias, this atrocity in this Southeast. Is it politicians is it the politicians trying to have an upper hand against each other? Is it individuals who are trying to take advantage of a loophole created by these various IPOB elements and ESN elements to cause havoc in the Southeast? We need to find out.
Thank you very much.
It's a major issue that we need to really look into. Another election coming up very soon.
Yes, I want us to go further. You've given brilliant updates, brought us to speed with all these situations in Nigeria. We need to also hear from France. France, how are you following situations in Nigeria? What's your views on happenings and occurrences there?
Well, it has not been that too rosy, which we all know back home. A lot of unfriendly news are going over there. But the ones I took much interest in it what concerns a lot of people. The South governors are gathering together. They are going to have a meeting. They had a meeting. The topic of the meeting was not really disclosed, but we know that they're going to discuss about the VAT and the grazing issues and others. It is something that they need to really talk about, because I can remember the Governor Wike, raising up a dust about the sharing formula of VAT, which has really not gone well with the Northerners. But at the same time, justice should be made. We should face the whole facts and then do what should be done. You cannot rob Peter to pay Paul and expect Peter to be happy. That, by the way, then we talk about the doctors in Nigeria. They are suspending their 63 days strike because starting from the 6th and then when on the 6th they are going to suspend it. It's like they are reaching a very good agreement to see if the government will actually meet up with what they want, because you can see these are the lives of our people, being played with. Nobody knows who will die tomorrow. Just like a policeman that stopped a doctor that was running on the way to go and save somebody, and he delayed him a long time, only to find out that when the man got home, who he was going to save was the policeman's in-law, and the man died. So that's saying that everybody is involved in this situation. So they are saying, let us share the whole thing. Let us be able to save lives. Let us equip our hospitals. Let the doctors be well paid. Our health workers should be taken care of, and there should be a good insurance that will see them go forward. You can see our Nigerian doctors are making waves outside the country. But why are they not making waves in Nigeria? Because there are no equipments. All these things are going down, and the cost of our treatment is going so high. If you go to the hospital, before you can be able to get treatment, you must make a deposit of at least 100,000 or something like that. Then what of the poor masses that don't have that money? Wouldn't they have a means of treatment? Let the general hospitals be equipped and let government do something for us. That again brings us to a situation, a sad one. Everybody knows about Rotimi Williams. His son, Ladi Williams, just died of COVID, and at the age of 74. He has tried, but at the same time, Nigeria is losing a son of an icon and an icon also. So we are really, really crying over all this. And that takes us also to what is going on about the presidential elections. The chieftains in APC are saying that the Northerners will be quite unjust and unfair to not back a Southeastern presidential candidate. If we are to draw some words from the words of the president, General Muhammad Buhari, the 1st of January, the 1st of October, there was a place he made mention that during the independence of this country, that everybody struggled, fought for it. The South, the East, the West, and the North worked for all this to come to pass. But at the same time, I don't see where the East being represented in the leadership of the country. So it is not something very, very easy. And also the PDP people are also fighting over there to find out how they will solve the whole thing, to be able to get a consensus candidate. And I think the Easterners have gone back to their drawing board, which is something good for them to go and draw out a consensus candidate or whatever, bring us some good candidates that will do something better for us. Then we now talk about the vice and every other thing. So we also heard about Peter Obi that was telling us, he's been telling us that that Nigeria is on the brink of security and economic collapse. We are not really holding things the way it's supposed to be. We're not putting the round pegs on the round holes. We are putting square pegs on the square holes, and the companies are being frustrated. They don't have access to foreign currencies to buy their raw materials, and the ones that are home that are really moving on, there are no good roads for them, and they are being frustrated. And whatever the policies that the government is putting on is not allowing them to actually work. For manufacturing companies to exist, they need good, working policies from the government that will help them both on importation and export, and then taxations, and then the roads, accessibility of raw materials, and the marketing. These are the things we are talking about. So we are just happy to be alive today, and then for the time being, we just take all these things this way it is until we come your way again. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for that update, coordinator from France, Chuma Bomuche. We'll go on a short break now, and when we come back, we'll be looking into more issues. Here in Milan, where two strong issues, two strong occurrences news. One is not too far from me here was a protest. You all know about the climate protest in Italy. The young girl called Greta came here on a Friday. She was here in Milan, not too far from where I am now. And they had the Youth Climate Conference. Also in Milan was a sad one. A Romanian billionaire crashed into a building. So we'll be coming back with more of this. Schengen Story News Roundup, 4th of October, 2021. Thank you.
Schengen Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. The articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. Get Schengen Story magazine's full editions. Celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better, the inside story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle. Inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment. A better mind keeping you updated.
Hashtag Schengen Story magazine. Get Schengen Story magazine full editions.
Welcome back to Schengen Story Media News Roundup for this week, this 4th of October 2021. Yes, in Milan was a climate protest ahead of they call it COP 2026. The young lady from the Nordic side, Greta Thunberg, led that Friday protest. And she had some words to say. Let's listen to Greta speak some things. Let's hear her.
Here in Milano, ministers from all over the world have gathered here to discuss the climate crisis. And they are pretending that they have solutions to the climate crisis and that they are taking sufficient action. But we see through their lies and we see through their blah, 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 and we are tired of it. They're discussing a climate emergency that is here and now, an existential crisis that is already taking lives and livelihoods for countless people all around the world, especially in the most affected areas. A climate crisis that will only get worse and worse by time, and the more we wait, the more irreversible damage we will cause.
Yeah, so that's Greta, the young lady, and this event was just on Friday. I happened to be there, and even though it was they were all following the COVID restrictions and policy, but hundreds of people gathered. Swedish activist Greta Thunberg led the march, and before that march, there were some other issues also. The rally was in a movement that would that brought about students from all corners of Italy and Europe to come and talk about climate issue. So, Maziazu, this whole talk of climate issue, this whole talk of greenhouse and all that, blah, 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 like she says. What are you going to say about this? She was using the word blah, blah, blah several times, that leaders are saying blah, blah, blah. Now, what will you say also on this whole thing, climate issue? How does this really affect us as human Africans in Europe, Africans all over the world? And give us an insight Mazi ASUU?
Well, obviously, climate change is a natural element that can either be controlled by man or be controlled by the natural elements that creates the universe itself. We can stop some bodily elements from the universe from hitting the earth, irrespective of how technologically advanced humankind has become in recent years. But then we can try as much as we can to manage the atmospheric condition of our earthly bodies in terms of how we manage our forestation, our desertifications, our industrialization, and technology advancement. Some of this whole thing is caused by what man has created within the universe itself. Because in the quest of development, mankind has tampered with most parts of the earth. And in terms of discoveries, adventurism, man has stepped into areas where naturally the earth needs to be managed within the earth context. And so when people come to blame leaders and refuse to blame themselves, then it's just about telling yourself that you are also a problem, ignorantly. We as humans should be able to understand the way we manage our environment, the way we keep our environment, not for the betterment of selfish interest, but for the greater benefit of everyone within the community to have a more dynamic society and a peaceful coexistence among each other. All this whole thing about emission is all about how humans have used natural resources to create danger for the existence of mankind within the earthly space we have. And so controlling these emissions also requires man to look into how they can be able to manage the atmospheric conditions of the earth. And I know that technology has been working in so many dimensions to control this with these new innovations of electric cars, electric trucks, electric trains. And I wish that one day we'll have electric airplanes that wouldn't require fossil fuel to fly. And then we begin to see how we can control these emissions from the air, control these emissions from train tracks, control these emissions from road haulages. So if we can be able to manage how we destroy the earthly elements, because the main survival of mankind on earth is the air we breathe. And some of us don't even see this air. We can't catch it. We can't hold it. We can only have a feel of a wind, but we can't really see the air element itself. And when this air is contaminated with a lot of pollutions, and most of these pollutions are as a result of chemical combinations which mankind has created in the name of trying to develop extensively the earth itself. So we have this huge industrialization pack. And if countries like China, countries like India, Bangladesh, the rising industrial hubs of East Asia, Cambodia, and Indonesia and Sri Lanka get to understand how they can manage the industrial evolutions they are having in their country to manage the pollutions that they are creating and destroying ecosystems. Most of our river sources are so contaminated with loads of all kinds of chemical inward from factories that are not properly channeled. And this is the problem. So it's about the leaders ensuring that there are policies to manage this situation, and also that those who are being led, the citizens, the general public, the businessmen, also have an understanding that without the existence of human beings, there is no market. Without the existence of human beings, there will be a society. So,
good one. Sorry, let's moving forward. I want to ask Chuma. Chuma, on that protest also was a Ugandan activist called Vanessa Naketi. Vanessa Naketi, she's black, she's a young lady too. So she has joined this voice of Greta. I want to ask you, does this air pollution thing, this climate change matter, does it really affect Africa, considering the fact that Africa is not into much of this industrialization thing, like we're saying? What will you say? Because the girl is also pushing her own voice, the Ugandan girl, and she's also saying her own loud. What will you say about this, Chuma? We have very few minutes now.
Yeah, actually, it affects Africa. We should all have in mind that a lot of deforestations are going on in Africa, just like what is going on in Ogoni and other oil producing areas. There's oil spillage that has been killing the aquatic lives and then hampering the also lives of the inhabitants of those areas. These are ecosystems that are affecting the world all around. Now, you have to see that when the trees are growing, they bring out oxygen and they bring out carbon dioxide. All these things go on. They help the ozone layers, so that all this will come down. If you can think back and look back, you will find out that last year we had so much flooding in Nigeria, heavy rains and all this. These are happening in all other parts of Africa. It is all about this climatic warming and climatic change. Now everybody is saying they are changing. How are they changing? When all these cars, all these thermic cars are being sent to Africa, they are polluting Africa again, and they feel that it's only Africa that is being affected. It's going to affect them also. The heat rate in Africa has grown. It is now scorching. That is why we also feel bad about our sisters who go around trying to turn their colors a little bit. The sun will cause a lot of damage to their skin, because when with your color the way it is, God has created so that it has a resistance to the heat. But when you turn it and you weaken the color, then cancer will come in. So the climatic change and is affecting every part of the world. It is not only in Europe, but every part of the world. The voice of an African coming up there is highly appreciated. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, also here in Milan, remember I said some occurrences happened here in Milan. Here in Milan was a very strange happening. A man, a billionaire, was traveling, and somehow he found himself. He was going from Romania. He was going to. He took off from the Milan Linate Airport around 1 o'clock on Sunday. This was yesterday. And he was going to the south of Italy. I guess they were going for some holiday there. Flying on a light aircraft. He was piloting the aircraft. The billionaire is a Romanian man. And they crashed into an empty office building, just not too far from where I am here again. And killing him immediately, the wife and their son, and 5 other persons that were on board. So this was a very, I think we can see the photo there. That's the billionaire. It was a very, very horrible situation. Ambulance, the thing crashed into the building. So that billionaire is called Dan Petrescu. Dan Petrescu is a Romanian billionaire, 68 years old man. He's claimed to be the richest Romanian man, and he owns a couple of businesses in Romania, supermarkets, malls. He's also said that he has he's of German nationality, but he's Romanian. The wife also is 65 years old, and their son, 30 years old, was killed, the only child. So you're talking of a whole family being wiped out in just one day. Very, very sad occurrence. It happened yesterday evening. In fact, we were here wondering what was happening because ambulances and noise, the police, everything was moving. And little did we know that it was that. Initially we thought it was something else. So this is what is happening in Milan, and it's not a good one. Mazi Azu, when we have situations like this, obviously it affects a lot of things, and people, businesses, everything comes to a standstill. Now, what are ways to prevent this kind of occurrences in the future? Mazi Azu, are you there?
Yeah.
I mean, this man is not a known pilot. So why is he driving the plane? Why didn't he hire a pilot to pilot them? You want to ask those questions. Go ahead, Mazi Azu.
Sometimes it's difficult to ascertain the reasons why some people take certain actions or make certain moves based on the outcome of that particular action. And sometimes people can either be moved logically to predict that this is a kind of a premeditated suicide trip. The man could have been triggered either. There are various manners and various ways of mental health, psychological distress that people go through.
Are you saying it's probably a suicide, murder suicide?
It could be. We have seen a situation like that in the UK where a billionaire, such like that. Also, I can't remember his name. One time ago,
yes.
In the UK.
Yes.
Lock his whole family up in his mansion, and then set the whole place up, and then burnt everybody, including himself. And as a result of some huge debt or some huge a family dispute that could have been a huge scandal, and he wouldn't like to be alive to see that scandal on his life, on his hair, on his face. So there are people who cannot afford to withhold the pressure of public scandal or huge debt that is hanging on their neck, and it becomes open, and they wouldn't want their family to go through such stress, if they are not there too. So I'm not saying it is the case, but then sometimes people tend to do what they call what I call self-driven ambition or self-driven adventure. Self-driven adventure, trying to be very primus in what you do. And so probably he just decided that I want to fly my family, I want to fly the plane myself, I want to take that enabling risk, But then, unfortunately, something went wrong, and not being able to control the situation on air, that led to the crash. So there's so many. It all boils down to what the investigative authorities, the air investigation authorities, are able to get from the brain box of the aircraft, to see the black box. The black box of the aircraft, and then they'll be able to ascertain if it was a mutually suicide. Sometimes, you know, the Western world people, they tend to carry out mutual suicide attempts by themselves, and then sometimes sometimes it's natural occurrence. It's just that it just happened because something went wrong, and then it happened. Our heart goes for the family. We pray and hope that those they left behind will be able to bear the pain, and we all don't know how it happened to everyone, but then this has happened. We pray for the best of life.
Thank you very much. We want to, like I said, it happened not too far from me. The area is called San Donato, and San Donato is about 12 kilometers from where I am now. When it happened, there was so much noise, every blaring of ambulances and police vehicle, and we were all wondering what could have been the situation there. Thank you so much, Maziazu. Maziazu, let's go into something also serious in our country, Nigeria. We all know the man Joe Igbokwe, and we saw what is happening there in the southeast of Nigeria. The southeast of Nigeria, because of the Anambra election coming, has now become a haven of destruction and man inhumanity to man. You know, I don't know where this got into people. Normally, we don't have this rate of crime and terrorism and all that, even when it's election time. But it's a different story these days. Anambra State, because of the forthcoming election on November the 6th, is going through so much killings, kidnapping, raiding, house burning, haymen, all kinds of destruction. Maziazu, what will you say? Let's see this video of Joe Igbokwe, and you give your take. Maziazu Chuma. Yeah, that's Joe Igbokwe's house. And I mean, what has come to human being? What has come to people? Why do we do this to ourselves? Because of
Tempo kita ka nje onye mma. Mgbe mmiri ọmanye mmiri. Onwere obe enwekwanụ host ga ebe a. Oya onwe fi eme ni.
While the stream is showing, Maziazu Chuma, Joe Igbokwe is APC spokesperson, and we all know all these bickering going on in these political parties. Chuma, what will you say of this one now? What has come to this? Why are we at this level where people's lives are being haunted, people's properties are being destroyed, all in the name of politics? Chuma, what do you say about this?
Well, this brings us to what we said last time, that now what we have are politicians who are employed workers in politics. They don't have any back office, they don't have any handwork, they don't have other things they are doing. Their sole source of livelihood is politics, because they see it as a source where they make money, and then unsweated money, they didn't suffer for it, and whatever, there's no accountability in Nigeria. So you go into politics, you make money. This thing that is happening here, I know it will be channeled in so many ways. It will be called ESN people, IPOP, what. But to me, I am looking at it as a political problem. because some political opponents, you remember politicians at this period of at this point in time, they always arm youths to go into talkery for them and whatever. So in this process, they can it can still be somebody from another party that must have sent them to come up and do this in the name of saying it's IPOB or ESN. First of all, we have to really understand ourselves very, very well. Politics is called to service. You accept to come and serve people and not come and intimidate people. It is not a do or die affair. This man has lost his house, his hometown, and everything. It is very, very painful. He has suffered all this, and at the end of the day, this is what he's getting. But what are we saying about the roles of politicians in what is going on? They say there's no smoke without fire. These people that are doing this, some people are behind them. And Anambra's election is very, very volatile now. A lot of things are happening. People are accusing each other. And the only way they can solve all this problem is linking them up with unknown gunmen or gunmen or whatever they're being called. So
thank you very much. Godson, we are seeing it raw before us. We are seeing destruction of lives, kidnapping, attacking people's property. And you wonder, are we safe because it's election? Anambra is going through this now, and all because November 6th is a gubernatorial election. Godson ASUU, what are you seeing here? When we see this, we are not happy. For those of us in Europe, what are you saying, Godson?
Yeah, I think it's rather unfortunate that we are experiencing this whole thing once again. It has remained a continuous challenge and experience over the years. And we just need to find a relative form of engagement to resolve this kind of mayhem and public destructions of lives and properties during political engagements. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the first, it's not going to be the second or the last. This is an ongoing mannerism in Nigerian politics. One of the issues I want to add to this is the fact that Joe Igbokwe has been a controversial figure in Igbo land. Those who have been following him up in his commentaries, those who have been following him up in his reactionary rhetorics with regards to the stand of Ndi Igbo, whether in Lagos or in the southeast, the position of Ndi Igbo as a partner in the Nigerian project. He has always been very, very controversial in his stance with how he feels and what he feels about Ndi Igbo as a whole. And so there is a complication.
Yeah, me and you live in Europe, and we know that no matter how controversial a politician is, it doesn't come to this level of burning his property, hunting, trying to get him down, kill him.
You don't say it happens. It happens. I mean, we lost a very young, vibrant, upcoming lady politician in up north in the UK here a couple of years ago because of her controversies, and somebody just went and shot her right in front of her house and killed her. And so it depends on every country's condition. Even in Italy, there you have cases where when Berlusconi was in government, there were lots of people missing, thrown away. They said they are mafia killings, but it's all political. So it happens, but it depends on how controversial you make yourself known. And I remember why I'm saying this is because I remember at the early days, sometime last year or so, some Igbo people want Igbokwe not to return back home. They don't want to see him in Igbo land. So he has had a very big case with certain people. Though people use opportunities to reinvent their attacks. So, and then also another issue here is this sudden call, like I said earlier on, by IPOB, sit at home every Monday, or sit at home when Nnamdi Kanu is taken to court, or sit at home whenever there is an issue, you sit at home. I don't think that is absolutely going to solve our problem. Rather, that has engraved our problem. He has endangered
obviously,
the peace of our the peace of our community. So people have taken advantage of sit at home. Young boys young men and women have taken advantage of sit at home to orchestrate. Even some of these agendas may not be directed by any individual. It's just some young men just sit down at home and just wake up one morning and say, we are going to kill anybody we see on the street that drives around. Anybody we see that drives around, you just kill. You don't care. Because if you look at the killing of Dr. Chika Akuyili, you could know that the people didn't even know who he is. So they just saw him on the road and just stopped the car and then they start shooting. So it's not the premeditated agenda of young people having nothing to do, guns in their hand. They just wake up after smoking in their home or taking some codeine. They just go on the streets and start shooting people, just like what happened on Saturday or Sunday. They went and killed 2 policemen, burned down DSS house, burned down federal road safety houses. These people may not be sent by anybody. They may just be young people, sat down in one place, drink codeine, take cocaine, take goof. After taking the whole thing, they just go on the road.
Thank you very much. As you always bring in great insight into situation. Chuma, I know you sympathize most times with IPOB, but what do you say about this Monday sit at home? I mean,
first of all,
my brother.
I have to be very plain. It's not sympathizing with IPOB. Everybody is sympathizing with them. Everybody is sympathizing with Oduduwa. Everybody is sympathizing with the Northerners also. Okay. All I say is I just come out to say something very open. You understand? From the way I say it. The sit at home, if I should look at it, it affects the economy and other ways. The other time I was arguing with somebody, a doctor here, and he was telling me that when you go for all these political situations and then you try to go for separation and whatever, there are many ways of doing them peacefully without, wounding people, killing people, destroying properties. And most of them, once you finish the awareness creation, the next thing you do is you go into civil disobedience. This type of a thing they are doing. But in the right sense of it, they should think about it and see how it could be. They could come into alliance with other people, find a way of making it a little bit subtle to help people survive. Because many people are dependent on what they are getting. Many of us are. Many people at home is what they get from what they sell that they eat. So
that's correct. That's correct. Chuma, thank you. You said it. I mean, that's sincere speaking. Let's go further. Our time is running out, but we'll go on a short break. And when we come back, there is a book that there is an explosion that has come to the world. There is a paper called Pandora Papers. I hope you guys have heard about it. I know you probably would have heard about it. Pandora Papers is exposing a lot of secret dealings with the rich, the famous, the leaders of the world. And Pandora Paper is giving us insight into the lifestyle of the rich and the famous. So we're going to talk about Pandora's Papers, but after this break, we'll be back. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
SCHENGEN Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. The articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. Get SCHENGEN Story magazine's full editions. Celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better, the inside story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle. inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment, a better mind keeping you updated.
Hashtag Schengen Story Magazine. Get Schengen Story Magazine full editions.
Thank you very much. You're welcome back to Schengen Story Media News Roundup, the 4th of October 2021. And we're here in the studio from all corners of Europe. My very good friend Chuma from France, the great man Godson Azul from the UK, and we are giving you the updates. Listen, as much as a lot of people don't care about news, a lot of people don't want to be bothered about what is happening. But the fact of the matter is, no matter who you are, as long as you're a human being on earth, news affects you. One way or the other, the news affects us. So for us, Nigerians, Africans in Europe, we look into these issues and how it affects us. Because you can't be sitting on the fence when it comes to human endeavor. So we're looking into issues. During the weekend, a situation happened. A book was released, a book dubbed the Pandora Papers. The Pandora Papers is the secret wealth and dealings of world leaders, politicians and billionaires, and how they've been doing their things for years now. It exposes some of the biggest some of the biggest secrets of financial documents. We all know of Julian Assange and some of these things he was trying to say. So this one is coming out. We don't know who is the author. We don't know who has done this whistle blowout. But what we know is some 35 current and former leaders and more than 300 public officers are all featured in this file. The file also shows us offshore companies. The file also talks about the revelation of some kings, some monarchs, and what they are doing that when we are sleeping at night, we don't know. My brothers, what will you guys say? Godson Azul, Pandora Papers. What did you hear about it? It came out during the weekend. What do you hear about Pandora's Papers, Godson?
What do you want me to say, my brother? I mean, we've been hearing all kinds of papers in the last 30 years or so. We've been hearing of all kinds of papers. All those papers, revelations have not changed the way the world has been evolving. The world is evolving. Every generation there's a new dynamic or new dynamics of existence of mankind. And so for me, it's just about some people trying to tell a story about what they think they know. Because according to the Pandora paper, these were a compilation of about 600 kinds of journalists across the world who investigated issues in their countries or in their domains, and then they put together these stories, and then somebody just compiled them together and try to bombshell the world with these names. We have been hearing these names. There was a time when we were told that the Queen is the head of Freemason. There was a time we were told the Queen was the head of Illuminati. There was a time we told that so many of these people are in this and that. I have never seen any.
Vincent, Godson, why this is putting some small reaction and I mean, why this exposure is mainly because, like you just said, we've had series of papers and whistleblowers on all issues like this. But this also confirms to what those whistleblowers have been saying, number one. So a confirmation, when you have more witnesses into a story, that means there's something about that story. Then number two is that it opens up some secret dealings that these world leaders hide. And in most cases, they pretend to say something else and they do something else. I've not gone through the whole paper itself, but I think by tonight I might have a copy of it all. So, but the little I saw shows that there are some real secret things. The Russian president, for example, Vladimir Putin, for example, there is so much about him, and that is not what he portrays in the public. He's saying something else, but there's this big sheet of information about him that exposes him and makes him look like a real big-time hypocrite, a real big-time liar and deceiver. So, Chuma.
Obviously, you have to understand that most of these leaders are all criminal elements. They are all pretenders. They are all pretenders. They have everybody that understand the way politics runs. You know, some people don't really understand the meaning politics. Politics in its real time is about maneuvering. Politics in its real practice is about manipulations of minds and society. And if you don't understand it that way, you are just living in the veil of ignorance. Every politician, whether in a developed world, in advanced society, well-educated society, every politician's angle of raising its profile and getting to power is about the ability to maneuver and manipulate the minds of those around you and the society. So in every way, they all have a signal. All of us have something that we do.
Yes, our time is running out. Our time is running out. Chuma, what do you have to say about the Pandora paper? Do you have anything? Have you seen it? Have you read it?
I have seen the Pandora paper, and then it's the same thing as a twin to Panama paper.
Yeah,
we have so many people there. Even the UK Prime Minister is involved there. The Czech Republic Prime Minister is involved there. Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta is also involved there. And there's a place I am reading that they are saying that some Nigerians are also involved. I'm here to get into those areas.
Always be involved.
Yeah, even we're also hearing of the King of Jordan is there. Also, Ecuador is there. Now, this tells you that there are two different levels of life. That is why you see in Nigeria some people say, "I have arrived." When you say you have arrived, it means you have entered into a new level. You can now mix up with those who are in that level and then start mixing up with them. So all the presidents and all these top politicians, they are all on the same level. They eat and dine and wine together and then make us to fight for ourselves. So you see them diverting what is supposed to be used to better the lives of the masses to their own personal gains. Amassing all these words only for them to come up and be imposing extra tax on us, killing us, and they are not paying the tax. That's too bad for all of us. So we should find a way of making them pay for it.
That's too bad forever. But also, you guys should take note that it's not just the politicians. The paper also indicts monarchs, kings, you know, everybody is playing dirty. Everybody has something in their cupboard. So it's a shame that humanity at its best is not stable, you know. So this tells us that the human being is still prone to, every human being, no matter who you are, is still prone to one fault or the other. So moving forward, we're supposed to be rounding up, gentlemen. Is there anything we're missing from France? Is there anything we're missing from the UK?
Yeah. Yes, we're missing something from France.
The fashion
actually, the legalization of the lesbian and the single mothers to have IVF and their treatment. It's going to be voted tomorrow. Here we are waiting to see what will happen. Actually, our president promised he was going to do something about this when he assumes office, and he has been pushing it under the table, sweeping it under. It has been a thing that has generated a very heated debate here. Many people are really asking. You say that you don't want to marry a man, but you want to have a baby. That is using a sperm of a man to fertilize your egg, and you have a baby. So how will that baby be? How come? So a lot of things are involved in all these things. I don't know how to go into it. It's a very delicate issue, but I must say, if polygamy is bad, then why should we be accepting these other ones? So let them allow people who want to marry as many as possible. Let them marry. And these people that say they don't want to marry, but they want to have babies, let the government also decide on it, but it is not something good. You cannot allow a woman to come out and have a baby without having a father. But they said that when the kid gets to 18 years, that this is the interesting part of it. Now, when the kid gets to 18 years, the kid has the right to demand from the mother, who is my father? I want to know the donor. You understand me? The sperm donor. So when you get a sperm donor, then that makes you automatically, you can go back to him and leave the woman if you want. You know, it is all there, you know, trying to get some things, you know, really cleared up. And so many people, we have a lot of single mothers here. Everywhere in the world is becoming a new trend now. So we, the men, we are losing, eh? So if we don't take time, we'll be sleeping alone at home. So
what is happening? What is happening in France is has already taken shape in most parts of Europe. You know, this donor thing and the LGBT community having some power over custody of children, giving birth, and all that. It's going. Italy also is experiencing it. Spain, Germany, Godson. I know the UK is forward, is number one when it comes to that.
Well, they have similar situation here. Is now where we're giving up to them because even the church has given in to them. So if the church giving in to them, who is government? Government will give in. If the church has given up to these situations, then the government will give in up or something. But in the UK here, we have two things. I mean, we have been able to, the government has been able to draft in soldiers as truck drivers to ease the petrol scarcity at petrol stations across the UK. Military truck drivers now are delivering petrol at most of the over 700,000 petrol stations across the United Kingdom. So there is a bit of ease in petrol scarcity now in the UK, and so people can really go about their day-to-day activities driving around. And secondly, today, the 4th of October, UK is starting a new COVID restriction policy or protocol, which now we don't have the traffic light arrangement anymore, but rather now we have what we call the red line and the green line people. So from today, anyone that is fully vaccinated that travels into the UK would not be required to quarantine or do a test.
Yes,
from the departing country. So you come in, once you can prove your complete vaccine certificate, you don't need to quarantine. But if you are coming from the red line countries, then you will need to quarantine, pay for your hotel for 10 days quarantine bills. So obviously it's a good thing because we are hosting next week the London Political Summit and Awards, briefly in London next week, which is an organization I'm part of. So next week we are hoping to host couple of people from Nigeria and part of Africa to London. So this is a very good news for those who are traveling. I just hope that they all have been vaccinated because if you need to come to the UK, you just need to do that.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So we look forward to that opportunity to host everyone here.
Let's move forward. Let's move forward, Godson. Thank you. You are bringing us updated on all these issues. One thing we forgot is even though a lot of us with ideology believe that aspect is too trivial to discuss, but there's something they do in Nigeria called the Big Brother Naija, BBN. You all know about it. I happened to watch the final section, final whatever yesterday, and a young Igbo boy, White Money, he calls himself, won it. So White Money won the Big Brother Naija. They call it Shine Your Eye or something. He won it, and he went home with 90 million naira. That's a lot of money. 90 million naira. Big Brother Naija has come to close. So that was a small news by the corner. But what will you guys say about that thing, that event? Why are we copying? We copy things from the West, but most times we just copy anything. You know, we don't look into the importance or what that thing we're copying, what it could bring. You know, Nigeria has copied the Big Brother thing. The Big Brother thing started in South Africa, came to the UK, went around the world, America, everywhere, all parts of Europe do Big Brother. Now Nigeria has copied it, and Nigeria seems to be immersed in it. People love it. Millions stay glued on to that show. Chuma, Big Brother Naija.
I laugh when I hear that name because there's something, it's not teaching us anything. On a more serious note, it is not educative. It goes around telling us how to be promiscuous. You know, people moving around doing some dirty things on screen. I have never watched it. I've never watched it. I just listen to people talk about it and I don't even want to watch it. There was just a clip of it that was sent out. It was shared. I saw it. One girl was kind of, you know, making love to somebody in the open, and they were filming it. And little kids are watching all this. Yeah, they wrote on it PG-18 and whatever. But at the same time, how do you guide it? Now imagine a matured man, a right-thinking man. By 12 o'clock, you wake up. Instead of you sleeping to take care of yourself, your health and everything, you wake up to start watching that, which means I mean, why not go and watch pornography and say you're watching pornography? It's not teaching us anything. That is not African culture. It is not in our tradition. It's not in our life. We should be talking about how to bring families together, how to build, you know, our understanding, build a family. I'm not just going around showing people how to go around naked, talking rubbish and all this. Big Brother, I don't support it. Now look at it. This young man won 90 million naira.
That's a lot of money
for him. What about the best graduating student from UNN, UNIFE, Uni Abuja, IMSU, and all these things? How much are they getting? They only get a handshake, 1,000, 2,000, or highest 100,000 naira. Are you encouraging education or what? Those money, why don't you just channel them into industries to help employ people? If you want to come out to do such a thing, my brother, my sister, my people, let us think of something to go, something to bring out, something that will be positive to the nation. Look at this guy, a basket mouth. He's a guy I love every day, anytime, any minute. He's going around trying to cure high BP with what? Comedy. He is pushing it in the positive form. And whenever he's organizing his shows, it is censored. You don't come on stage and start saying rubbish. So tell me why you should come on stage and then you put cameras, you walk around naked. The other one, the girl will look around, he doesn't say anything. She will undress herself, showing her nudity. And the worst is that a lot of married ladies are in this. Married men are in this. Your daughter will grow up and see this. Your son will grow up. What are you teaching the nation?
Yeah, it's pathetic that we find ourselves in that situation. They could also set up a intellectual Big Brother where probably people are meant to invent or create something or build something, you know, and give prizes to winners of good invention. Godson ASUU, Big Brother Naija, tell me, what do you say? I know
just like Chuma said, I don't watch such things. I don't have interest.
But listen to this. You guys say you don't watch this, but you know the ratings. Do you believe that Big Brother Naija brings out close to 20 million views on when it comes on live? 20 million people are glued on. That's the minimum. Now, sometimes they say it gets to 50 million. So you're talking of half of Nigerian population, I mean, 1/4 of Nigerian population watching nudity.
Well, see, the fact is that those numbers, if properly investigated, are all manipulated numbers. And obviously, there is a huge, Nigeria doesn't have a good record of viewers rating on TV programs. They don't have that. They don't have that technology to give you accurate numbers. They speculate, and obviously the guys who came up with Big Brothers are making money. Are making money from these speculations. And then companies are buying into the advertorial concept of it and then paying them so much money because of the figures they are showing them. Obviously, this is distraction. This is distraction. And many of us keep asking, if 20 million Nigerians can glue to, or 10 million Nigerians can glue to watch rubbish of young people who are supposed to be bettering themselves with better things to do, why can't those 10 million wake up one day and glue themselves to change the political scenario in Nigeria?
But where you are,
why can't they change the employment? Why can't they change the employment?
Where you are, Godson, UK, where you are, is the headquarters of the Big Brother. They celebrate it. They even have a session of it.
Well, you can't compare. You can't compare the societal situation in the UK or America to that of Nigeria. UK and America has a very strong social security net for its citizens. Yeah, whether you are working or not working, something is there to cover you. Nigeria doesn't have a good social security net. You go and suffer, carry your tomato, orange, and whatever and sell, and the change you get there, you go and pay for data to stay on a telephone to watch rubbish. Why some idiots are making billions from it, and you are wasting your own little earning that you're supposed to be saving, and you pay to people? Why not pay that money into a political institution? Why not form a party, Young People's Party? Pay that money, £5 naira. You are going to give to Big Brother, and then form a colossal number of voters and change government in the state, change government in the local government, change the government in your federal, in the senatorial zone, rather than allowing the politicians are enjoying Big Brothers because they see it as a distraction for the reality of those. They see them as taking the youth away from active politics, from active involvement in social change. So when you agree to, when Big Brother comes up and they say, brother, let's go and protest, you tell the person, go to hell, man, this is more important, I'm enjoying this one. See, Nigerians need to change their mental capacity, their mental state of mind. Big Brother is not helping anybody. Big Brother is not for the kind of society of Nigeria. Big Brother is an immoral act that somebody have used to decolonize or colonize the mind of our young people. Instead of them being productive in areas that are more essential to human development and societal development, they are more engaged in watching somebody using them and their brain to make his own money. And that man that you saw today won 90 million. 5 years down the drain, go and ask him, where is that 90 million? He has no idea what to do with that money. He has nothing he has planned to do with that money. He goes now, probably buy a house and buy a 30 million naira car and be flashing himself all over the street. And in 1 year time, we have seen many of them. After 1 year, he becomes a beggar. He start looking for how to go back to Big Brother again. He start looking for how to go to Nigeria Has a Talent. He start looking for how to go to how to be a good singer.
Okay.
You have to,
on this note, gentlemen, thank you very much. So we could be here all day, but take note that the shorter we are, the more relevant we will be also to the hearts and homes of people. So on this note, I want to thank you, Chuma Ibomuche, Schengen Story Media from France. Thank you very much for coming out this 4th of October to put out news, and Godson ASUU from the UK. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you so much, and let's keep doing this. Let's keep keeping our community abreast with situations, regardless of what may be, and it's for the good of our community and for posterity's sake too. So this is it. Schengen Story News Roundup, the 4th of October 2021. Have a beautiful day, gentlemen. Bye-bye. Thank you.